Well, folks, we are back from a galaxy far, far away.
We finally saw Star Wars Last Jedi, and guys, we just loved it. Last Jedi, it was a throwback to originals, it was a blast, and it was just a nice, concise film. I felt the same way I did with The Force Awakens. It really got me that charm again, and I felt that experience again. It really held up, and it followed up well right after The Force Awakens. I mean, it was just an overall fun film. I love the throwbacks. I love the references. I love Luke Skywalker. A lot of people didn't like Luke Skywalker, but Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill's return after 40 years after the original film was phenomenal. He was remarkable. He was my favorite part of the film. I mean, it was just a really fun, great film overall. There were some problems, which we'll get into, so be warned that this video will contain some spoilers. So if you haven't seen The Last Jedi, which I don't know why you haven't, because everyone pretty much has. I mean, it came out last year, so... But yeah, this was a great film to knock off 2018, so without further ado, I guess we'll just get started with it.
Yeah. So it begins after the events of The Force Awakens.
Yes.
The First Order, led by Supreme Leader Snoke, is just destroying the Resistance, and the Resistance is like turning their tail between their legs because the First Order is like overpowering them. And General Leia, Carrie Fisher, is like trying to find a way, to strategize on how to defeat the First Order, but things aren't going as planned and basically it results in a couple of casualties of trying to bomb a certain unique-looking big-ass ship.
Yes.
Which I thought was really unexpected. And yeah, there were a couple of casualties trying to bomb this new ship.
Right.
And, that's where the whole action, it begins.
Right.
No bullshit.
Right. It just gets to the point, grabs you in the story. Boom, this is where we're at for Force Awakens, and this is what happens. X-Wings flying around. The First Order is shooting left and right. They're blasting people left and right. Pilots are going down. Soldiers are dying. Everyone's in chaos. So the Resistance is literally on life support. They are almost dead. They are being gripped by their necks. They're just lost and hopeless, and they need hope. So it's up to Luke Skywalker, the Last Jedi, obviously, to restore and give rebirth to the Resistance and to the Jedi, and to just save the catastrophe and the massacre and just the situation overall. Luke Skywalker, I have to say, it's been 40 years since he came on screen. And it's been quite some time, too, after Return of the Jedi, which came in 1983. I thought Mark Hamill's comeback was epic. I loved it. Some people complained that it was different, or he wasn't, the same go-happy Luke Skywalker. But it makes sense. There has to be something new with this character after this time. Because it's been a long time. It's been 30-some years since, Return of the Jedi, and 40-something since A New Hope. So you know that this man has changed, and his outlook is different. He's not the young former Luke. That's just how it is with life. I mean, people change. And I thought his story incorporates the film very well. Rey, after that, big cliffhanger, gives him that, lightsaber, just throws it.
Yeah.
He's just negative. He's just hopeless. He's just very nihilistic. Wouldn't you say? I liked what they introduced because it makes sense. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Let me talk about Luke, man.
Okay. There is a reason why Luke is like this. Let's just say it begins with a little story about a part where he, takes his nephew in, Kylo Ren, who is basically aka Ben Solo.
Right.
But then he starts to have some terrible feeling about him.
Right. He just sensed this evil, maniacal, just this plague, this disease, this force, this evil force, cliche, but he says this evil force, this evil sense of being, with Kylo Ren, and he's just worried, he's paranoid. This kind of reminded me with what happened in the prequels with Anakin Skywalker's situation. Definitely reminded me of that. So that was a nice little reminiscent of that. But yeah, that's basically what happened. Luke was afraid. He was paranoid. He wasn't really aware, just like Obi-Wan wasn't with Anakin and him becoming Vader. This is the same situation we're dealing with. So he's concerned, he's worried, and all hell breaks loose, and unfortunately that's what happened. I mean, Kylo Ren took it upon his own hands. He killed his own father, betrayed his own mother, tried to kill Luke and kidnap all the trainees he had started at his temple, and he just went gone. And Luke is worried, he's skeptical, he's hopeless. And that makes sense. I thought it tied up so well. It makes sense. I mean, maybe they could have gone into more detail, but with the running time being like 2 hours and 34 minutes, you gotta try to condense it a little bit, because that's how it works with editing. But regardless, I mean, it makes sense that Luke feels this way. He doesn't want to let them down, and him being reminded of that failure, of that fateful event, just sparks more doubt to him and being more, just nihilistic and hopeless. It works. It's realistic.
Yeah.
I don't know why people complain about it. Even Mark Hamill didn't like his script or his part, but I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
It made sense. I mean, what do you think? I thought it made sense.
I thought it was perfect. I mean, come on, man.
Right.
Like, you gotta have something new with the character.
Exactly.
And I just want to say, although, of course, he told his own version of the story to Rey, but it was the complete opposite.
Right, of course. So he's not being honest. He's not being truthful. And, that makes sense with Luke Skywalker. So, I mean, I like Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill was fantastic. He did awesome performance. And his conclusion, when he looks at the sun, it just reminded me of A New Hope.
Yeah.
It brought that nostalgia back. So,
yeah.
Mark Hamill, overall, fantastic performance. Awesome twist with his situation in Rey. It was just great. And Rey being in place as the new Jedi was just awesome. It was nice to see a female role kick some ass and just be awesome and use the Force. There's a lot of great chemistry with Mark Hamill and her, and how he trains to use the Force, and he messes around with her and accidentally with her.
Oh yeah.
When he gets the leaf, he starts tapping her.
He's like, oh, can you feel it?
Yeah,
can you feel it?
Yeah.
It was great.
It was fun.
It was funny.
But Rey was awesome. I liked seeing a new Jedi, getting into the mindset, learning the history of the Force. What is the Force? It was just fun. I mean, Rey was fantastic. She was a great actress, and I liked her more getting involved into this compared to Force Awakens and Kylo Ren kind of just creeping up on her and then like communicating back and forth. I mean, what did you think of the telecommunications with the Force? Because they added some new elements in the Force with this film.
Yeah, it was a bit weird, but at the same time, I sort of got it. I mean, they're like, you have the ability to, I think, talk telepathically with the Force,
Right, or be in one place to another. That's the one thing that was a little confusing to me, is when Rey and Kylo Ren communicate, they're talking, and you get that they sense each other, they're talking more. But there's some parts in the film where you see characters and both of them one place to another, and you're kind of like, wait, what's going on? I guess they were trying to do something new with the Force, like communicating telepathically and transporting one place to another. But that could have used a little more clarification, a little more understanding. But overall, I mean, I understand what they were going for. They wanted to add something new with the new generation watching Star Wars and the Force. So
yeah,
I mean, that was just fun to see. I mean, now the action scenes,
oh yeah,
they're just beautiful. I mean, there's explosions left and right. There's a lot of action, a lot of great fun. I mean, what you think of special effects? They were really great. I love the ships. I love these new weapons. I like some old weapons, old machinery and old weapons coming back.
Oh yeah,
Just a great
it
nod.
was great to see the AT-ATs again, the Imperial Walkers, the TIE Fighters, and the Imperial ships, etc. You can't go wrong with that.
Right, it was just great. That's one of the things I loved about that was the action special effects. You're not going to get bored. It drags you in right then and there. I love when you get certain characters come back, like Chewbacca, C-3PO, Princess Leia, of course, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher.
Oh, and I have to talk about another character.
Go ahead.
The Progs.
Go ahead.
Okay. If there are a couple of wildlife creatures that will actually be interesting, cute, and funny, it's the Progs.
Yeah, they're just this cute little big-eyed, puffy kind of hamster-looking creatures.
With penguin flippers.
Yeah.
There was even a part where Chewie was about to eat a cooked version, and then we see a bunch of Progs staring at him, and then he's like, "Argh!"
Yeah.
And then one Prog was just sitting there giving him the puffy eyes. And you see it closer.
That was great.
You couldn't help but laugh.
That was a nice and cute addition to it. I really liked the Progs. They were fun. But Chewbacca coming back, the Progs were a nice little touch. C-3PO, R2-D2, when R2-D2 comes back and he meets Luke again. Oh, that was just memories, dude. I love that reunion.
Oh,
because it's been forever. It's been great.
Let's not forget the part where he plays the old message.
Yes.
From the New Hope.
Yes, that was just nostalgic in itself.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
That was a cheap trick.
And and again we heard the Clone Wars again. In that sense, and it's just
wow.
Wow.
It's just a great film. I mean, sometimes it's self-aware, like with Mark Hamill and some of the dialogue. They know that oh, it's another Star Wars film, but at the same time, it's still fun. It's still great. It's still new. I mean, I enjoyed, especially R2D2, Mark Hamill coming back on screen after such a long time. Just overall fantastic and great, and I mean, I loved it personally.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, you know who I also really liked? I enjoyed Poe and his little sidekick.
Oh yeah. Poe and BB-8.
BB-8 was fantastic. BB-8 fucked a lot of shit up for a little guy. I mean, you see him go through all this devastation, all this chaos, and it's him like playing around. So he's like the new R2D2, really.
Yeah, and but he goes like mainstream.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh,
we
yeah.
even see him pilot an AT-AT. Yeah, this little droid is piloting a fucking giant-sized AT-AT.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
Just fun. BB-8 was fun. He was just a fun character, and I'm looking forward to see what more we do with them.
Yeah, and
Poe too. Poe was great to see come back because we didn't get much of him in Force Awakens.
Yeah, and let's not forget Finn.
Yep.
Finn is back, and he also has a new friend, or should I say, a new lover.
Yes, he has a new love interest in the film, and they bond and they communicate and then they go through some different obstacles within the film itself. So, I mean, do you want to get into that? What they go through, or not too much? Because I know we're gonna talk about spoilers.
Well, I mean, well, the thing is, I mean, okay, like they're going like to this casino on another planet, and the casino, I must say, was hilarious.
Yeah, there was some funny scenes in there filled with humor and just complete goofiness. Some of it kind of reminded me of the prequels, I'll say, with some of the characters and creatures and the racetrack.
Yeah,
that was fun.
The only thing missing was the
yeah, those guys. Yeah.
But anyway, and then they're trying to like find someone who can hack the ship of Imperial Supreme Leader Snoke.
Yep.
He's got like a red flower on his shirt.
Right, he's supposed to be the guy.
Yeah, until they, were caught, and they, basically, were thrown in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And, and there was this one little weird alien dude who mistook BB-8 as like a slot machine.
Yeah, so, there's like weird little alien fucker just drunk and like playing him as a slot machine. That was fun to see. So there's a lot of comedic moments, and some people may just hate that completely and hate the self-awareness and just the goofiness. But it was fun. It worked. You have to have some humor in there and some, self-awareness. I mean, it's Star Wars. You gotta have some humor in there.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
It was fun.
Yeah, and let's not forget that. There was also like these cool looking weird horse things with these big ears.
Yeah. They're on the racetrack. So instead of them driving those racers like they did in the prequels.
Yeah. Now
it's just these like big old like weird like horseback riding creatures, and they're fun to see. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. So. And another creature that I also liked were like these weird but really beautiful crystallized like foxes.
Yeah, those are cool. Those are very cool to see. So there's a lot of new creatures and new things, and it's just a fun film. That's all I could really get into. I mean, Snoke was a sinister, evil guy.
Oh yeah,
just an evil villainous force.
Yeah. All right. Now, okay, we have to talk about Snoke.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Snoke is pretty much was foreshadowed to be like this new like Palpatine,
right,
or Darth Sidious,
right,
according to some sources,
right.
But there was just one little thing, that was a bit off.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, where Kylo Ren brings Rey to Supreme Leader Snoke.
Mm-hmm.
And Supreme Leader Snoke tortures Rey right in front of him, blah, 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 and Supreme Leader Snoke tells, Kylo Ren to, execute, Rey, but there was, then all of a sudden, like, the blue lightsaber, like, by Snoke's chair, he activates it by using the Force,
right,
and pretty much just decapitates him from the waist down.
Right, so there's a little, like, plot twist in the film. And I'll be honest with you, that was cut off short. Don't you think they should have extended Snoke's role in the First Order more, and also get Kylo Ren involved and learn the ways from Snoke.
Yeah.
It was just too quick, and you know what I have to say, Adam Driver. You know, I did a retrospective 2 years ago on Facebook when I was going to see Rogue One, and I watched Force Awakens. And at first, when I saw it in theaters, I didn't have a problem with Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. He was cool. I actually liked him. But when I revisited him, I did not like him. He was just an annoying little whiny bitch, you know. And I still feel the same way about him now. He just felt indifferent to me. He just felt like, you know, still whiny me. But I mean, I'll take it for what it is. I can appreciate some of the things he did with Rey and him, you know, having guilt and trying to be good. But overall, it was just too rushed. It was too rushed with Kylo Ren and you know, Snoke in the First Order. It just felt rushed. Some of the parts were just too rushed. We didn't get too much of that.
Yeah, I mean,
as we would want to see.
And I also want to talk a bit about Kylo Ren.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, he has problems. He has an issue.
Right.
But I mean, here's the thing. Me personally, I'm not gonna try and hold anything against him.
Right.
It's not really his fault.
Right.
It's the script.
Right. It's the director, the studio,
and the writing. It's pretty much their fault for me. They even I bet you they even told him to act this way because they thought for some reason that would be interesting.
Right. It would be you know, great and have a new twist or be original, but it just felt sort of typical and cliche and just felt like typical Kylo Ren. But
yeah, but
what can you do?
But
it's
I
not
would
his
take
fault.
him over any other shitty villain. Like I still I don't want to hear any more about Jar Jar Binks was the better bad guy. Stop right now.
That's just a stupid.
Stop.
That's just a stupid theory. Jar Jar Binks was not a villain. He was just a dumbass.
Yeah,
just a dumb-looking, ugly creature dumbass.
Yeah,
that's all he was. He's not part of the Sith. He's not this evil force. So in that case, I'll take Adam Driver as Kylo Ren over Jar Jar Binks. But still, you know, Kylo Ren had his issues, and maybe they'll work out better. Maybe he finally becomes Vader, as is foreshadowed by Snoke. Maybe he becomes more evil and better. But I just still had issues with him. So
yeah, I mean. Who knows? I mean, they'll probably still make him the same way in Episode 9, and I bet you it's bound to happen.
Yep.
But who knows? Maybe in a new trilogy, if it continues on.
Yeah.
If.
Right.
Maybe like with an Episode 10 as a conclusive end. And it's basically speaking, I just think, you know, Kylo Ren should be fixed up just a bit more.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I prefer him over Jar Jar Binks and other shitty villains like the Arnold Schwarzenegger Ice, Mr. Freeze, and etc.
Exactly, and I also think with you know, with characters like Kylo, I also think the story should be a little more. There should be more stuff, more depth. But you know, like we said, the runtime you can't go over. If you go over, you're gonna lose the audience. You have to make it shorter. But I just think they could have still tweaked it a little bit. You know. With Kylo Ren and, you know, with the First Order and, you know, with everything else involved in that. But yeah, I mean...
I'm sorry, I almost forgot.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I also came up with this theory that what if people thought, you know, Kylo Ren / Adam Driver was the new Aiden Christensen? Maybe that's why he's hated so much.
Maybe.
Because they refer to him as Aiden Christensen, but in the new sort of way.
Right.
Which, I don't know, that's kind of that's being harsh.
He needs a little more work and a little more depth with what he does. Like, this film was fantastic. It was fun. I'm totally going to buy this. I'm going to see this again. I'm going to rewatch it because I enjoyed it so much.
Me too.
But still, you know, fix up him, Kylo Ren, fix him up a little bit, and Adam Driver, and just fix up the overall, like, you know, point in the arc of the story, because sometimes it just goes too quick. There's a lot of parts where you expect more, like with Snoke and the First Order and Kylo Ren together, but it just felt so quick, and he plays mind games with you. Kylo Ren, when he tries to, like, you know, when he kills Snoke, and he tries to go with Rey, it's like, wait a minute, he's going to join the light side, it's going to be good? And he's like, oh, no, I fooled you. It's like, you fix that in the future.
I mean, to be honest, they really want to establish Kylo Ren as this ultimate force of nature.
Right.
They're trying to incorporate him as, like, the new Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But I think they kind of failed to miss the point.
I think so.
Darth Vader, he doesn't rely on thinking that it's all about himself.
Right.
But he does kind of want to use his name as a symbol of fear.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah, but I wouldn't compare the two.
Yeah.
First of all, nobody can replace Vader. James Earl Jones is Darth Vader. There's only one Darth Vader. That's clear. That's not debatable. You know, Kylo Ren's new to the people of this generation of Star Wars, but still could have been better. And you know, some of his decisions in the storyline and the way it was written could have been, you know, a little more explained, a little more slowed down. But what can you do? Like I said, it's Hollywood. It's the studios. It's editing. You have to make a certain you know, time frame with this film, with how long the runtime is going to be. So there's nothing else you could really do. I mean, we're not in control.
Yeah.
We can only say what we liked, what we didn't. You know, so.
Oh, and another thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why? I mean, yeah, and another thing about him killing Snoke so quickly, that was also bullshit because who would not have wanted to see Snoke versus Luke?
That would have been an awesome like conclusion.
Because Snoke wanted
Luke
dead so bad.
Right. I mean, why couldn't Snoke be used by you know, Kylo Ren to his advantage? Why so quick again? That was the big, you know, a big issue with that, you know. I mean, I just wish I had more of Snoke and more with Kylo Ren taking his time and the First Order getting into it. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it is, you know.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing about that. I still wish they fixed that. Also, you know, with Finn and Rey, I kind of wish they kind of talked a little bit more or just communicated more after, you know, they met each other and hugged. I kind of wish they kind of explored that more, but maybe we'll see that in the next episode, so we'll see.
Oh, and with Kylo Ren fighting Luke, I thought that was very interesting, and he thought that he could kill him once and for all, but no, it was an illusion.
Yeah, which did confuse me, like I said, with this whole telekinesis, telepathical thing with the Force, so.
And, of course, when, he stares off into the sunlight, and then, of course, I think this is what pissed people off. He's dead. He pretty much disappears and becomes one with the Force.
Yeah, that's one of the things. It's Luke Skywalker that people are complaining about, his attitude, his personality. Kylo Ren and Snoke and the First Order, there's a bunch of complaints with that. But with Luke, though, he made his peace. He made his conclusion. He redeemed himself. He gave a new meaning, rebirth to the Jedi and to the Resistance, and he made his conclusion because he's not going to stick around. And Carrie Fisher, obviously, she died, so they had to conclude her. I think the next episode they're gonna have to explain it.
They're gonna have to make something up, like where, let's say Kylo Ren was able to find Leia and kill her or something,
or she died of old age, something like that.
I mean,
but you know, it is what it is. These people from the original have to conclude. Han concluded, Luke concluded, and now Leia concludes herself too. So and now the rest of the saga is in the future. So yeah, I mean, I overall loved it. I loved the action, loved the characters, had a great time from start to finish. Everyone clapped at the end. That was fun to see. It's nice to see people come together to see Star Wars. And even though we had some kids, it's Star Wars. Everyone wants to see Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it's been out for a while, so.
And, let's not forget the caretakers at Luke's home.
Oh, those are funny. But yeah.
I mean, they were funny, but aside from that, you know.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. It was, it gets an A+ for me.
Me too, A+ here. I loved everything about it. I loved the story. I loved the characters. I loved where this was going. I had a fun time, a lot of action. You're not going to be disappointed. The cinematography is great. I loved, you know, the island, the Jedi temple where Luke's at. It's just beautiful. They have some beautiful shots. I mean, the interior and the shots and everything else around, it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, but let's not forget one major Star Wars character that came back as a ghost.
Yes, Yoda. Yoda came back. Yoda came back. So many people come back in this film, but Yoda was just a great treat, a great surprise.
Yeah.
It wasn't practical Yoda, obviously, but he was very much well CGI'd. He was very much well done.
And he sort of almost moved like his puppet.
Yeah,
sort of, but
definitely.
And of course, although I know he died, but it would have been nice to see the ghost of old Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, that'd be fun to see. But the original actor died a long time ago. They could have hologrammed him like they did with Peter Cushing in Rogue One. But what are you gonna do? But overall, though, The Last Jedi, A+. I just love everything about it. All the elements, all the characters, the story, the action. You're not going to get bored. It's not a disappointment. Don't listen to people.
Yeah.
Do not listen to people. It's been getting positive reviews since it came out, and then later on people started bitching, complaining, tearing down apart, tearing to shreds. But nonetheless, still, it's a great film. We loved it. I don't. You probably all have seen it too, so don't watch the spoilers. But just watch Rogue One, revisit it. Not Rogue One. Revisit Last Jedi. Revisit all the films, and just have a fun time because it's just a great film. This was a great film. I can't wait for the next one. A+.
Oh, I can't wait too. I can't even wait for Han Solo.
That's gonna be cool.
I can't wait for Episode 9, and I can't even wait for a Ben Kenobi film.
Yes, exactly.
And a Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
Boba Fett.
I can't wait for the spin-offs. Now, some of them are kind of getting carried away, but I would like to see the spin-offs, of Han, of Boba Fett, and Darth Maul will be great. Luke, I'm not sure because the original Star Wars explained to Luke, so I don't know what they're going to do with that. So
I would like to actually even see a spin-off film of Grievous.
Me too. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome. So yeah, I mean, Star Wars, this new trilogy is just great. I can't wait for the next and last one, and then I think they're gonna get more into the spin-offs.
Yeah, but I also heard there was like a new trilogy confirmed, although a lot of people mistook it as like, is this a trilogy based off the old Republic, based off of like the old non-canon video games?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a bunch of things going on with that. So we don't know what's gonna continue on, but I loved all these new films from start to finish that I've seen every year. And Last Jedi, just fantastic, just a fun time. Just old nostalgia. Just great. I can't wait to watch it again. A+ in my book. So.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing.
Okay, one more thing.
Yeah. From the scene. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's just there was like. Oh, let's also not forget like this weird purple-haired chick.
Yeah, she was interesting too, but then she kind of confused me with the whole teleporting thing. But yeah.
Yeah, and like the teleport where it split the shit in half. Split the
ship.
Yeah, in half.
Yeah.
And basically, though, I thought, since she was, like, trying to, like, take over as, like, the new general because Leia is in bad condition.
Right.
And blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And, and I thought I mistook her as, like, an agent of Snoke, but turns out it was the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, then.
Yeah, so.
That was a little weird.
Yeah, so, again, anything else you want to say?
No, not really.
I just want to conclude this right now.
All I have to say is just watch it. And may the Force be with you.
Yeah. All right. Last Jedi, guys. A+. Thank you for watching. We'll be back with more stuff. Not too much. Just probably more new releases. But Last Jedi, we loved it. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you've seen it. If you haven't, once again, don't watch this video. But yeah, Last Jedi, just a great conclusion to Luke and to the original characters. And I can't wait for more in the future. And also that little credit with Carrie Fisher. Dedicated to her, that was just sweet. That was just a perfect way to do it. So, all right.
We love you, Carrie.
Yep. All right, guys. Take care.
Take care.